Hello, everyone. Welcome to Get in the Garage.
We're a music podcast.
For music lovers.
Welcome to another episode. We have a very fun episode planned for you today, full of all kinds of good stuff and new music releases. But before we kick the show off, as always, remember to like and subscribe and comment. And if you can also rate us on the
I'm a 10.
the Apple pod.
I'm a Pitchfork 6.2.
Ooh, harsh rating. On the Apple Podcast app too. Like if you could subscribe to that, as well. But also ratings and reviewing the podcast on that is also very, very helpful. And remember to share too and tell your friends about it and stuff. We try to make sure we do new album reviews every single week. To try to stay on top of
And music news.
and music news.
Tell
as
your
well.
enemies, too, so that you can become friends.
Yes, it's a point of bonding. It's common ground.
And you're supposed to keep your enemies close.
Yes. So all right, let's get let's get this thing kicked off
Hit that theme song.
and get it going here.
Who played bass on this?
I did. I played your bass on this. It makes no sense.
Did I play guitar?
I think
don't
we both
remember.
did guitar.
I'm the high vocal and drums.
The at the end, that's you.
Oh, I know that.
Anyway, yes. Welcome to another episode. We are here in the Get in the Garage studio.
In the garage. We're in the garage.
We're in the garage. We're in the garage. That's in the basement.
Another shelf has been added. You
Yes,
can't see.
you can't see it, but we're we're
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
we're gonna go 360.
Jeff just like, I didn't even notice
Wait,
that.
a new bought shelf or pulled from upstairs?
That was the
That's
upstairs
pulled from
shelf.
upstairs.
So the whole collection's now in one piece.
reunited.
Back-breaking work, moving all that stuff down.
It was horrible.
I was
I
FaceTiming
did it on
him when he was
Monday.
doing it, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He's just like, "I'm carrying this fucking shelf downstairs." Excuse my language. So at the top of the episode, we thought we would
We
cover.
figured and we thought.
I know. I'm sorry.
We pondered.
I glitched out there. Some of our favorite music news, headlines, stories, and all that kind of stuff. Stuff that maybe caught our eye and we thought was a little bit funny. Would you guys like? I'll lead it off if you like.
Please.
Sure.
All right. Well, as people know who listen to the podcast, they know that we're big Kiss fans. Or at least,
Whoa, are
at
we?
least, at least Luke and I are big Kiss
okay.
fans. And
We
saw
all
them
own
recently.
Kiss shirts here. I'd like
We
to say
do.
that.
You own a Destroyer shirt, if I'm not mistaken.
I do. I was
Yeah.
rejected for service in the Kiss Army due to my religious beliefs.
I thought it was
Dis-
bone spurs.
I don't believe in demons.
It was dishonorably discharged. We don't need your services here, but I'll tell you what, Kiss made a big old demonic boo-boo.
Yeah?
So Kiss recently played a show in Australia,
Okay.
and whenever Kiss plays a show, they'll put up on the Titantron or whatever the hell it's called. We love you. So when we saw them, it said, "We love you, Hartford." So they're playing a show in Australia, and they had on their screen, Kiss loves you, Vienna, which, if for those who don't know, is the capital of Austria, not Australia.
Good night, Mike.
I just thought of Dumb and Dumber immediately.
I just watched that last night.
It's on Netflix now. Yeah. It's the greatest thing. I'll try to pull up a graphic so that way you guys
Pretty
can
good.
see. But
Pretty
maybe I'm not really sure how that mix up happened. But Austria is a little far from Australia, so
Well, Kiss is famous for the merchandising. I have a music news for you here.
Yes.
This just in. Tumbling Ice. Rolling Stones get new 60th anniversary igloo coolers. Which is a lovely feature here. You could get your own personalized Rolling Stones igloo cooler.
Igloo cooler. What's the print? Is it is it a specific album?
Well, we have a couple here, but I screenshotted. We have the
Just the tongues.
all the different logos here with the suitcase stickers esque, and then we have a checkerboard a la Muddy Waters, Rolling Stones artwork,
nice
kind of thing.
Someone's got to pay for Mick Jagger's sixth house.
I know. Well, it's not going to buy itself.
Well, I just wanted to, we are always bringing up Rolling Stones merchandising and Kiss merchandising
Yeah.
on this podcast. So
Yeah.
This past week wrapped a music festival, Glastonbury 2022, which is I believe it's the UK's largest music festival, and some headliners were Billie Eilish, Paul McCartney, Kendrick Lamar, A lot of other groups that I enjoy were on other stages, Idols and Krunbin and Snarky Puppy and
Oh, nice.
tons of things. I think it's like a 4-day or 5-day festival. Diana Ross had the famous Legends Tea Time slot on the main stage.
Oh, no, wait. How
Which
many
is-
stages is Glastonbury? Sorry to cut you
I
off.
think it was like 4 or 5.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
That
huge.
many, huh?
It's like 240,000 people there.
Holy shit. I
Di-
didn't realize
Diana
it was
Ross
that big.
played.
Yeah, Diana Ross did so it's like the Legends slot is the main stage at tea time on Sunday, the last day of the festival, which I believe is like 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So, and Diana Ross, lots of hits, so respect. She's like 75, I would think now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot about
and
Glastonbury.
Paul
Festival.
McCartney joined on stage by Dave Grohl, who made his first appearance since the death of Taylor Hawkins.
I did see that as well, yeah.
Dave Grohl played a couple songs with Paul McCartney, and Bruce Springsteen also played with him. And
Oh, the boss.
yeah, first
Jersey to the UK.
Glastonbury since the outbreak of COVID. So they did not have it in 2020 or 2021. So a big deal. Taylor Swift was supposed to be the first day headliner in the original 2020 lineup, but she pulled from that, and Billie Eilish replaced her. Because I assume Taylor Swift's shit is scheduled out 3 years in advance.
Yeah,
so.
she's got to be booked out.
But yeah, I saw a lot of clips, and it looked like a really successful and fun time. And it's a festival that's based on, the Woodstock idea of peace, love, the countercultural movement. I believe the first year was 1970 or 1971. Maybe 1970, because the 2020 that got canceled was their 50th. So like they considered
see,
this
yeah.
one the 50th anniversary one.
Yeah, like make up for it.
Yeah. So really cool festival. They're in the countryside too, kind of similar to Woodstock. And, but yeah, everybody was there. Meg Thee Stallion and
Was Limp Bizkit
Olivia
there
Rodrigo.
this year?
Not this year.
Too bad. Too
Not-
bad.
We could always look forward to 2023.
The Brits don't like breaking stuff all that much.
Yes. So check out some clips. Glastonbury, Glasto, 2022.
Gloucester. Well, speaking of live performances
Sure.
and all that stuff, I don't know if you guys had seen. Shout out to Stereo Gum Instagram page, which is where I get most of my music news and stuff, aside from Rolling Stone and so on. But Motley Crue, they're on tour with Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett.
You've piqued my interest. Def Leppard.
Yeah,
Continue.
I knew I'd get you with Def Leppard. So there was like some stuff going on because Tommy Lee had broken a couple of ribs and he was kind of down and out for a couple of the first initial shows. I think that the tour was launched in May, maybe the end of May. Shout out to my cousin Athena and her husband Jerry. They went and saw them in New York. I think it was Shea Stadium. Or City Field now, because I don't think Shea Stadium exists. I think that's the parking lot now. But they released some footage of Vince Neil singing "Shout at the Devil," and oh my god, man, it was not good.
Awful.
Vince Neil's voice is very, very rough right now. It's very rough. I've seen multiple clips from different concert appearances where his voice is just completely shot.
Like,
Let me tell you,
he can't hit those notes at all, man. It was sad.
Public
It was sad
service
to see.
announcement. Not to shame, not to whatever, but just for facts and common sense kind of facts. When you gain like 80 pounds, it straight up crushes your vocal cords.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise to me that in the past 20 years, as he's put on more and more weight, he already had a voice that sounded like he was like shredding his cords.
Yeah,
And now you got weight around your neck that's straight up pushing into that.
yeah.
So that's why
Yeah, it was rough.
Mick
man.
Jagger,
it was
man,
rough
he's
to watch.
running 5 miles a day because he
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah,
Once-
it was-
if you
it
could
was
never
rough to
sing,
see.
it doesn't really matter.
I mean, we are talking about Vince Neil. You're right.
yeah.
Oh, I know. I was talking about Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger really can't sing at all. Like it's not like he's hitting like high notes. He's just got more style than fucking.
Yeah, he's more. Yeah, he's kind of his personality.
he's
But yeah, Vince
style
Neil
all
comes
day
out
long.
and he's wearing like the Vince Neil garb, but he's also wearing like this like silk kimono type robe, and it was just
It's
so,
just rough, man. His voice is so
You
rough.
can see
It's just bad.
even Nikki Sixx, you look at him because it like pans to him when there's like doing the shout shout, and you look at Nikki Sixx and you're like, oh, bro, they all. It's like, guys, just like hang it up. It's okay. Like you're a beloved
But this is
band.
the thing.
It's
They
okay.
they did that whole promotion tour like years. Remember where they were like, "This is the end. We're not doing any
Yeah.
more
Oh,
shows."
that's right,
And
'cause didn't they
signed
signed a
the
contract.
stupid contract.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, man, I'm just like, that was it. Really call it quits then, because like you guys, it's kind of like. This is my point too. Is that bill is stacked? It's Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's,
wait, Poison?
Yeah, Poison too.
that's all. of,
Also, a great Instagram follow is Bret Michaels.
Michaels.
I've recently followed him, and it's
I've been, get-
it's
I've
so
been getting
good.
tons of Bret Michaels clips sent to my Instagram
Me
account.
too. I'm in the algorithm
Via,
now.
no, via you. You keep sending them.
Do you send the soft kissed emoji every time you say
There's one where he's playing conga drums, and
No,
you're
he-
like,
he
what
always-
is fucking going on? Like his alligator cowboy hat playing congas, and I'm like, oh, this is so outrageous.
Mike always is just like, your tour continues here.
Yes.
Yes, you can always. There's free bus passes to this tour every time.
But,
Backstage
Oh my
but
VIP
God.
experience.
Back to that whole thing.
Yeah.
Motley Crue used to be able to go out and sell out like a stadium with like two bands. Motley Crue, opener band. Now, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, Joan Jett. It's a stacked bill all the way up.
Yeah.
It's like it's guaranteed to sell out somehow, some way. It's kind of like a sham that like you can't really be going out there and singing like that. You're charging money for it. It's not right.
But see, in contrast, don't get me wrong.
No, but am I
You're right.
wrong? No, am I?
No.
I'm not wrong. If you're, it's not right to be like this is like like when we saw Kiss, it was fine. The vocals sounded great.
Yeah.
I was not
Yeah.
disappointed. That though, that's disappointing.
Yeah, and Kiss by themselves and still selling out venues. Just saying. Anyway, do you guys have anything else? I have one more thing.
Oh, I have one.
I have
but-
a heavy subject that
I have a heavy subject,
came
too.
down today. So
Okay.
we can just put it out there. You know, R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison for his part in
Oh, I didn't
sex
see
trafficking and racketeering. So not a fun news story, but it is the biggest music news of today.
Yeah.
He was sentenced, or I should say he was found guilty in September, October last year. And he was spent 35 years grooming and straight up like enslaving women and keeping them in dungeons in
children.
yeah, correction, children. So yep, so sad, but it's interesting how like a news story, it was so like under everybody's nose and out in the open. Like he was 27 and he illegally married 15-year-old Aaliyah.
Very strange.
It was a joke about him peeing on people in 2002,
yep.
2003.
Yeah, I mean Dave Chappelle, right?
And it took 20 years after that.
Well, it
It's
was
like-
almost like Dave Chappelle was like, everybody knows about this, so I'm just gonna
Right.
literally sing a song about it on cable TV. And like, yeah, and all those years later,
Yeah, and it's
it
kind of
ends up
twisted that
being-
people like were laughing about it.
Well, it was like
Yeah,
it was
I
a
mean, it's
documentary that
culture.
really brought it down. That I think it was
Yeah.
a time. No, it's the one of those networks.
Surviving R. Kelly.
Surviving R.
yeah,
Kelly.
I think it was Lifetime or
I think
E
it was
or
Lifetime.
something.
It was one of
Yeah.
those kind of. It was one of those networks, Lifetime or E.
A&E or something
Yeah,
like that.
maybe it was A&E. A&E sounds more right, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's you know,
So a bummer,
To-
but also good that he got sentenced
to
and he's going to
everybody-
spend possibly the rest of his life behind bars.
Justice.
and to
well
everybody
served.
that had to suffer for that,
Yeah.
we're with you when we love and
100%.
appreciate you.
Yeah. What was your
I don't
want
want to say it after that. No, I'm done. I'm
Come on,
good.
let's bring the mood. Let's
Oh.
get the mood lighter.
I don't think the mood's gonna get
lighter.
lighter.
So you get later.
Here we go. John Hinckley Jr. says has
Yeah.
true remorse for his Reagan shooting. No concerts on the horizon. Nobody will book him.
No.
So he has great remorse for shooting Ronald Reagan, but nobody will book him. So if you can get over the fact that John Hinckley Jr. shot Ronald Reagan, you can book him to sing some beautiful
saw-
country songs in your venue.
Did you see the video of like
He's going on tour with Ted Nugent in the spring.
a girl posted a video of her receiving a Craigslist email response about John Hinckley looking for a keyboard player, and she responded, and he was like, "You must have professional gear. Call me at this time."
Jesus.
The John Hinckley Jr. reports of him trying to get a band together has been and all he did shoot Reagan. It's just bizarre
Yeah.
and it's quite
It is bizarre.
it's the American spectacle.
Yeah, it's something. Well,
That's
to finish on, I guess, a light note, or a funny note.
Who died?
Oh, somebody did die. That dude from the band Goblin. I can't remember his name.
Goblin?
Yeah, they're like a 1970s prog rock band.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember his name. That's not what I was gonna say. Potential sponsorship opportunity. I think for us, Vanilla Ice released a energy drink, so I think we're gonna try
What's
to
it
go after
called?
that. It's just called Vanilla Ice.
Lazy. Boo. Shark Tank.
Boo. Yeah, it's called what is it? I wrote it down here. He partnered with the CEO of the No Sugar Company, and it's the Joy Burst line. And it's Vanilla Ice. It's like Vanilla Ice energy drink, and then there's
Vanilla Ice only comes in chocolate.
And then it's like
idiot marketing idea.
there's one that's like Ice Baby Seltzer. I think is the only other one.
Nice.
So not a very creative name, but you know what? We're coming after that sponsorship. Let me tell you, I'll be drinking Vanilla Ice.
A fucking
energy.
igloo. Send us a cooler,
Send
bro.
us an igloo cooler full of ice,
Tumbling
baby.
ice.
Ice, tumbling ice. All right, shall we move on here?
Yeah, let's move on.
Lord.
It is now officially halfway through 2022, so we want to just a quick shout out to some of our favorite albums from the first half of the year.
Yep.
We each picked 5, and if we could present them with like your one sentence why someone should listen to it, or synopsis or whatever. Just
okay.
the little blurb
Just a
about
little
each
blurb.
record.
Mine might be 2 sentences.
Can I go?
Knowing you.
I'll go first. I'll get it out of the way. My first pick is Soccer Mommy. Sometimes Forever. We're gonna talk about our review later, but I'm gonna just say it's the feel bad hit of the summer.
Nice.
Get your goth boots out. Another pick here. This is in no particular order. I have Harry's House, Harry Styles. Another album we reviewed on this podcast. I love this record. It's a great pop record. You should listen to it. It's the feel good hit of the summer. The other releases I have here, I have Horse Girl. We talked about this on the last episode. This is your droney awesomeness. As I said, I don't think there's a guitar record I'm going to enjoy more this year. It's super guitar-y, super great. Love it. Also, which we did a review on this podcast. Again, this is a bootleg cassette I made. Dead's Blue Skies. That's DEAD. This is a great Chicago group. It's like lo-fi, pop, bubblegum awesomeness, garagey, wonderful. Check it out. 3-4 singers, something like that. Really, really good. And my fifth was, behind you here, we have Orville Peck's Bronco. I picked this up. I love this record. I was sleeping on this Orville Peck record. The first one, I'm going to be straight with you, kind of thought was like hipster nonsense. And this record, I heard it and was very impressed with it. It's very good. If you're a fan of country music, check out this record. It's like a different kind of country. It's not derivative of the old styles, but definitely brings up all the great ones. So
Right on.
check it out.
There
All
you go.
released this year. Those are my top 5 picks of the best albums so far of 2022.
Nice.
Very good. All right, I'll get into it. My first pick, these aren't in any particular order for me. First pick is going to be the Black Keys, Dropout Boogie. It was released May 13th. I really like this album. It's like the Black Keysiest Black Keys album. It's kind of leaning into like more like their old style kind of thing. There will be no shortage of songs for Dodge commercials in the future. Or Cadillac or whatever it is. Second pick, Angel Olsen. The album is Big Time. The cassette's right above my shoulder there. We reviewed it. We really, dove deep into it and stuff. Love that record. Sort of in the vein of, Orville Peck. Thank you. Kind of this like dreamy country, alternative country kind of vibe. I recommend that album 100%. I didn't want to listen to it going in, and I listened to it, and it's like one of my favorites so far of the year. Similarly, you could say to the Black Keys, Jack White released an album called Fear of the Dawn, April 8th of this past year. The Jack Whiteiest Jack White album I've ever heard, close to I think Blunderbuss, that album, full of like that sort of like octavey, guitar-y, fuzzy goodness and all that stuff. There's some sort of world music influences on there too. There's sort of like this mariachi kind of influence. There's all kinds of cool stuff layered in there as well. it was fun to A/B that and the Black Keys together, because the Black Keys and White Stripes kind of were similar for a while, but it seems like they both kind of settled in their own respective places and are kind of doing their own thing.
And have stopped talking shit on each other.
And finally have stopped talking shit on each other, which is nice. My fourth pick, I'm going to go with Khruangbin and Leon Bridges. It was only an EP, but it was an EP called Texas Sun. It was released February 7th. Love that album because Khruangbin has this great way of like creating this sort of like vibe, this kind of atmospheric thing, and they just kind of like set Leon Bridges free to kind of do his like R&B kind of singing thing that kind of just like hangs over everything, and it's good. I mean, Khruangbin can just vamp on the same thing, and it's still just, it creates an atmosphere. It's not like it's this progressive, that's not a shit on them. You know what I'm saying, though. And then the last pick is a band that's kind of like a little bit, we haven't really talked about them before, but we did see them a while back. We went to go see a band called Diarrhea Planet in Boston, and one of the bands that opened up for them was a band called Wunderbar, and Gawk is probably like their most famous record, if they have one. That definitely has the most streams on Spotify, but they released an album called Devil for the Fire. It was on April 15th. It's their fourth studio album, and I just dig their music. I think they're fun. They're kind of indie rock. They do a lot of this thing where like the lead singer will sing along with like the guitar parts and stuff. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're a trio. Just a fun band, and it was a band that I never knew of until I saw them live, and I've kind of just been following them here and there ever since, and I gave it a full listen even earlier today. I think it's like 30 minutes long, the record. It's totally listenable and super fun, great, like fun indie rock. Cool. So there you
go. My 5 choices, no particular order. Debut album by a British all-female band called Los Bichos, called Let the Festivities Begin. It's world music meets surf music meets dance party, good vibe stuff. Very, very fun. My second is the debut album by Amber Mark called 3 Dimensions Deep, which is like sultry, sexy, dancey R&B music. She has one of my favorite voices.
I listened to that record. That was a great record.
Yeah.
That came out a little earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely listened to
I
that
think
record.
it came out end of January, maybe.
Yep, I definitely listened to that. It was a great record.
Beautiful. I've enjoyed her. She's put out many EPs in the past 6-ish years, and this is a full length, so I think it's like 17 songs. Check it out. Great summer music, especially late night. My third choice is Harry's House by Harry Styles. Just good pop stuff for the summer, and more sophisticated than I expected, I would say. My fourth is by Corey Wong, and it's called Power Station, and this is the musical soundtrack to his YouTube series called Corey Wong and the Wong Notes. It features special guests such as Bela Fleck and Billy Strings and Larry Carlton. Check out the YouTube series, Corey Wong and the Wong Notes. Each episode is about an hour, and they have a musical performance in there. And that's all the tracks from that series. And my fifth one is Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Kendrick Lamar, he's the best, in my opinion, in hip-hop music. It's an album that's taken me the past month to get more and more into, but
it's unfolding.
It yields a lot.
Did you see he brought his baby out on stage at Glastonbury?
I did.
It was pretty cool.
And he wore a bejeweled crown of thorns.
Yeah.
And
Yes, he
with
did.
fake blood coming down his face, and gospel choirs and dance troops and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's my number 5. And so check all 15 of those albums out.
Yeah.
Consult your nearest streaming service.
Yeah. And I think too, it wasn't in my
or
5.
record store.
It wasn't in my top
Telegraph
5,
in
but
London.
I will third the Harry's House record. That's probably, it's not on my list, but I'd say that's probably so far of all the albums that might be my favorite one released yet this year.
Why do you not put on your list then?
Because
You're
he
afraid
thinks-
of this
because
consensus
he
thing.
thinks-
You don't
he
like the
thinks-
consensus?
No, it's not a consensus. I just don't want to take some, you know what I'm saying? Because I figured, one of you guys is already going to pick that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
'Cause
yeah,
that's-
but you could just agree and be like, "Yo, man, that was a great.
Yeah,
this
true,
is why
true.
I
He's a-
liked it."
he's a
Your
trailblazer.
Your
He's a
opinion.
maverick.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
maverick, but your opinion matters in this.
Thank you.
Why you
I
like
appreciate-
something
I
is also
appreciate that.
important.
Yes.
He wanted to
So-
highlight Wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
So
Yeah.
respect.
So anyway, so there you go. There you have it. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to hit you with 2 new album reviews. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Get in the Garage.
The music podcast.
For music lovers.
We are going to be reviewing 2 new albums that came out this past Friday. It will be a Friday. the Friday before last. By the time this comes out, though,
I don't know if they need to know that.
We're time
These are new
traveling.
albums.
Yeah.
these are new albums. They're new albums. We're gonna
Before we get into this,
yes, please. What's up?
Canary in a Coal Mine on our YouTube page
By the Police, my favorite song.
it
I
stated
think you
that
might be a big police fan.
they were upset with that we did not have the Kate Bush album in our wall of albums.
Yes. So shout out.
I don't. It's,
He doesn't.
it's on the
Hounds
list.
of
It's on-
Love.
I just
Go
wanted to give
buy
you a
it.
shout out. Thank you for the comment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you want to buy it for us and ship it to us,
477 River Road, Littleton, Connecticut.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
this guy.
Send me your free shit. I don't care.
Luke's gonna get a stalker now. Hey man, you got any more podcast episodes?
Send it.
I need an album recommendation, man. All right, so Luke, why don't you talk about what album we're gonna talk about now? Because this made your list of one of the albums of the year. So
Yeah, I definitely fell in love with this artist. I was not really into this artist before like this Friday. This is Soccer Mommy, the alias of Sophia Allison from Nashville, Tennessee. Soccer Mommy has released. This is kind of like the third official album. I guess there's like some like more demo-y, loose albums before, but this is like the third major release from Soccer Mommy. The album is Sometimes Forever. And we are gonna get into it. I really like this record because, as I described earlier in the episode, I think it's like the feel-bad gothy hit of the summer. And I just really, I really like this record. It spoke to me on many levels.
yeah, I really enjoyed this record. I thought it was well paced. It's 42 minutes long and 35 seconds, 11 songs. So it's like it's not
Before we get super into this
Not
as
too
well,
bad.
the producer Daniel Lopatin. I don't want
Lopatin.
Lopatin. Thank you. I knew Jeff
Goes
had
by the
proper-
name One O Tricks Point Never. He's an electronic music artist based in Massachusetts.
famously did.
Famously has done the scores for the last two movies by the
Adam Sandler.
Safdie brothers, Good Time and Uncut Jams.
Uncut Gems.
Thank you.
Check out his album Magic One O Tricks Point Never, which I think came out in 2020. Analog synths and retro stuff, and he works with The Weeknd now, and he produced, I believe, this whole entire record, and kind of puts his like gauzy, shoegazy, textural, ambient reverb packaging around all these songs.
So basically, what you have here is Soccer Mommy would be kind of like a garage rock adjacent band, more on the singer-songwritery side of garage rock. This record takes that garage rock feel and places it in what I would say is what Jeff was noting, the beautiful production. I feel like all the songs are kind of placed in soundscapes of themselves. The songwriting is like, it's great songwriting, but the vocal delivery is more of like a long, drawn out kind of not like one note the entire time, but more like one noted dry vocal delivery, while the music around it is giving you the feeling and the stylized texture. I super enjoyed this. I think it was most effective on like the single Shotgun. You have a Pixies, Nirvana-y verse, which is kind of in a minor, and then it blasts up into this like major Oasis-style chorus, where it's got like the vocals are big out front. It's got the great keyboard that like is doing the synthy through the whole thing. It's covered in reverb. The other song on the album that really does the same thing really great is Following Eyes. It has the same kind of like mellow verse into the loud bombastic chorus. It's like the Quiet Loud of the Pixies, but when you get to the chorus, it's an Oasis chorus. It's it's big and bolsterous. It's really great. So those two songs have that on it, and then other on the record, it gets other textures, but like that's me gushing about it. What did you find that you liked about it? Because you told me you enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, initially it was like I kind of got like a late start to really kind of diving into this record, and I did a lot of listening with just one earbud in, and you actually were the one who was like, don't do that, don't do that. You have to listen to it in full headphones if you can, or on a stereo system or something. And I'm so happy that I did that. I had kind of like, I had about an hour to burn one day after work, kind of running errands and stuff, so I threw both earbuds in and I gave the whole album a listen to front and back, and literally I got home and I called Luke and I was like, hey man, I finally got to listen to it all the way through, and he's like, you hated it, and I'm like, no, I love this album. I think it's killer. Like Luke was saying, I mean, the dynamic range of this album is great. She has this great sense of like loud, like quiet loud, like she does that like super effectively. Standout tracks for me, I love the song Darkness Forever. Luke was playing that for us when we
Oh no,
first
do you
came-
mean Unholy Affliction, the one that was like the heavy one with the heavy drums?
No, I like Darkness
Okay.
Forever. That's kind of my favorite one.
Darkness Forever is a great track. I
There's
love
like
that.
a cool part where it's kind of got this, and shout out to Jade, my wife, because there's one part where it's kind of like this, like the guitar part is kind of doing like these sort of like single note rung out kind of like chord progression things, and she's like, this sounds like an evil Weezer guitar thing, but it also kind of has this sort of like
Yeah,
the
it's doing
end-
like the down, 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 down.
Yeah, and it has this vibe of it kind of has like that similar to like I remember the first time I listened to like She's So Heavy in full, and like at the end of She's So Heavy it's like boom 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 boom, like it has that sort of like guttural sort of thing, for me this is my favorite track on the album. I like the lighter songs, sort of like the happier sort of mooded kind of songs, like I like those, but I think for me the standout tracks on here, same thing with Unholy Affliction, it's that dark, brooding, sort of like tension-y building, like from the
like
depth.
gothy, but it's not
yeah.
like it's not gothy in like the 80s Cure goth. It's like gothy in like the mall goth sense. You know what I
it's
mean?
like dark, yeah, it's
Like
it's,
the goth girls in Clueless.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
It's like
sure.
stylized goth. It's
Yeah,
like
right.
it's like mall gothy, and like this song Sometimes Forever is that like you said, it's almost like anti-Weezer. It has like Weezer things, but it's like evil sounding.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
evil.
The,
It's like it's
the
like,
way she phrases the vocals on that song too is great, because it's like it just sounds like so kind of like innocent, and then like but
Yeah.
the music is so evil and foreboding, and then at the end it breaks into that like beautiful wash of like boom, boom.
Yeah.
It's like an ocean wave breaking over you. I love this song.
Yeah, and then just two more shout outs and then I'll pass the torch off to Jeffrey. I love the intro to the song With You, that like the arpeggiated synthy, that and then it turns into a completely different song. I didn't think it was going to go where it goes. And then Following Eyes, like Luke was saying, I love that. I love the drum sound on that. You can hear the room. It's just that. It's almost like, what was that? Oh man, I think it was the more recent Fiona Apple album where she's like squeaking a desk and stuff, like to get the like. It's like you. It sounds like it's just like a mic in a room recording. Like one single mic, just kind of like
Well, the end,
purposefully.
the end
kinda
of that song too
ill-recorded.
has the drum fills that are like you could tell it's like a live drum fill, because he's like doing like different patterns all over the place,
Yeah.
and it's great live
Yeah.
drums. It's you could tell it's a rock band, but it's stylized like a modern pop record.
Yeah.
It's got this record has a lot of things
Yeah.
going for it. I like it a lot.
Jeffrey?
Yeah, it's very much that mid '90s gothy alternative style music. I thought it was kind of like, it reminded me vocally of Mazzy Star.
Yes.
It reminded me like sonically, like the whole of it, of Garbage. If you guys are familiar with that
absolutely.
group. Some of the sounds were kind of My Bloody Valentine shoegazy type of stuff. I thought it worked really well. I think it's a great sounding record. I think vocally I think it's really done well. My one detraction is when the music is high energy, the vocals still stay in that like dream pop land. So like I listened to it for like the third time this morning, and I got halfway through. I'm like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
It's gonna kind of put me in that sleepy space.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't really listen to this right now. But I think it's a really well done record. I think that that the production by OPN is really helps these songs, because I've listened to the past Soccer Mommy releases and I didn't connect with them as much as this, because I think the sound is just different spot. It reminded me of an album from last year, one of my favorite albums from 2021, which was the Halsey record, If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power, which was entirely produced by Nine Inch Nails. So it's that same kind of brooding, emotional, atmospheric tension type of thing, while still being really poppy and catchy and memorable. I would highly recommend this record.
I like
Great
the
record.
the cover art as well. I think does a lot for the record in like what the record's about, because it's
It
like
literally looks like the Loveless cover by My Bloody Valentine.
yeah, and it has like that thing where she's not showing her face in it, where like the lyrics too like are, you have to listen to the lyrics to like really hear what she's singing about. And there's great lyrical content on here. None of the lines are like out there at all. I wanted to shout out the line, menthol and coffee on your breath. Great lyric in Shotgun. It was one of my favorites. I also kind of wanted to shout out to the fact that when I listened to it and I saw other reviewers kind of said the same thing, I thought first listen, because I never listened to this artist before, was oh my God, I'm not going to, Sheryl Crow was what I thought. Because I thought like, I was like, when I was listening to this, I was like, I kind of thought like, are you strong enough to be my man? Is like the vocal kind of thing about this record that has a lot to do with that, and not so much her style of music, but I feel like it's her songwriting is similar to a Sheryl Crow song almost, in a lot of senses in some ways. So I like that a lot. So I liked how it hit like all the moody things we said, but also I got like Sheryl Crow, Liz Phair, the more poppy side of the 90s. Exile Guyville. It's definitely a Liz Phair affair, but thank you. I'm very much in tune to this style of music. The female driven rock band. I'm in love with that. I think females have made like the best records this year. Like I've been talking to Mike about that, and so I will be very much on the higher end of the rating scale.
So then two questions. First question, exclusively for Luke: are you picking this or the newest Snail Mail record?
I think this is better than the last Snail Mail record.
Okay.
I like it more than that.
Right
and
on.
I was in love with that record.
So then what is your rating of this then?
I don't know what I gave that record.
Just for the record, the rating rather, Pitchfork gave it an 8.
I did see that. I think I'm going to give this an 8.5. I really like this. I've fallen deeply in love with it. I think if it's not your thing at first and you kind of like it, give it a couple more listens, because I think it really seeps in.
Yeah, it'll grow on you.
Yeah, I like it because it's just got the moody, like I like Mazzy Star on a hot day. I like this on a hot day. So it's kind of that with a poppy vibe.
Yeah, I'll join you. I'll say 8.
Oh, I was gonna say 8.5 though. 8.5.
Oh, okay.
I rate it a little higher. I think it's really well done, especially for like what this record is. 8.5.
Yeah, I'd say a solid 8. For me.
Strong 8 from me as well.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
Like
hot day at 6 p.m. type of record.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Driving home from work or something.
Yeah.
So
with one single tear.
I can attest to that. That's how I listened to this album. It wasn't 6 p.m. It was 4 p.m. But still, it was a hot day. It's the humidity that gets you, you know. So let's move on. The second album release is by the band Muna. It's the latest record. I did not write the title down. How
it's
silly
a
of me.
self-titled.
It's a self-titled. This
Okay.
band is from
'cause I was
LA.
like, why did I not? Yeah.
They're from Los Angeles.
Yep.
They
Another
were
11-song track listing.
Yep, it's pretty short. They were signed to RCA Records on a major label deal. Released 2 albums. The second album to some pretty high acclaim. Then they got dropped from their label and got picked up by Phoebe Bridgers. Am I correct on that?
You
and
are correct.
They got released this new record on an indie label, and it's their most poppy release yet and most forward-facing of who they are. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Well said.
I love the fact that they're a power trio.
Well,
In some sense of that
they're
word.
I
call them a
they're
power
a studio power trio because they don't have a drummer or bass player.
Well,
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
But
No, I know what you're saying.
this album reminded me of the records by Haim over the past decade. It reminded me of that same kind of era of the mid 90s to late 90s. It was kind of like alternative girl band music, not as poppy or bubblegum as like Spice Girls, but in that realm. It reminded me of the poppier Tegan and Sarah type stuff. It reminded me of Wilson Phillips, and the most, I think the most like shadowy influence on this music. It sounds so much like Imogen Heap that unfortunately that was a detraction for me, because I was like, this sounds like Imogen Heap B-sides, or not to say B-sides like they're bad songs, but it just sounds like the way the
like a little
lead
bit
vocals sound, the way the stacked harmonies, the structure of the songs, the moodiness, and the kind of poppy with like a mysticism type of bend. Like you can tell there's some weirdness in it. If you know Imogen Heap, you know like Hide and Seek and all the shit that was big in 2005 to 2009. I think that's a big influence on this stuff. But I think it's really well done. Poppy, summery, high energy, harmonies.
Super anthemic as well.
I would just like
the
to
Panthem.
I'd like to give you a quote.
It's a sick record.
This was a Jesus.
Thank you.
I'd like to give you just a quote that they tweeted out while they were making this record. Our next project, because this describes this record well, and I don't want to mischaracterize it, so this is a great way to do it. Our next project will be very gay, and it'll be called Gay, probably. So
yeah,
it is that's their own statement about it. It's a forwardly facing, queer record, I would say. All of them identify as that. I did not get that on the first listen, and I was like, what are they singing about? You know what I mean? And I was like, this is a pretty out there, like, pop record. It's an indie pop record, I do know.
Yeah.
But I looked up, and then I did, like, a little research, and I was like, oh, this record makes more sense to me now.
Yeah.
It fits in a place in a culture, and to hear pop songs effacing that way, like, so just, like, effortlessly and like very blatantly, it reminded me of there we go. It reminded me of that song, and I'm not gonna be able to think of the artist, but it was on Rolling Stone's top 100 songs, and it was like in the top 20, and I'm not gonna. It's called "Dancing by Myself."
Robin.
It reminded me of that kind of anthemic thing, because it definitely had all those vibes going for it.
And I think they actually in interviews have been highly referencing her as a major influence on this sound.
Because the song "What I Want," the second track on the album,
my favorite track,
the chorus of being like, I had to hide who I was, and now I'm going to be unabashedly who I am. The chorus is, I want to go dancing in a gay bar. It's that kind of whole stylized thing. That song to me sounded like that Robin song, but that's what I want. It was anthemic. I really liked it. It feels like an album of our time. And I liked the other aspect I really enjoyed about this record is that there was a country song in the middle of it.
Right, yeah.
Which I really liked. Kind of Girl is the name of that track. I liked that it was like kind of the children of the Taylor Swift era, where Taylor Swift was a country artist and then became a pop artist, where they were like, okay, so we can do a country song on here, and it's kind of a part of that like queer country movement thing. Orville Peck in the back kind of is on that flag as well in some respects. So I really Orville. But to have a country song in the middle of a queer indie pop record was very, very cool. It was a different feel. It caught me off guard at first, and then I was like, this is great. I really like this. It added texture to the record, so the whole record isn't like a dance pop record. It ebbs and flows, and it really helps to add just a lot of different flavors to the record. It's not all one note. Can I also shout out one more?
Please.
Runner's High on this record is kind of like an outlier. It's the most like club banger on here. I love lyrically what they did. Like when you're with somebody and you're in the cleanse, the runner's high. It's the whole relation to that feeling like you're, in an intense situation. And the music is like so like Tron, like on a runner's high.
It's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's a really cool song. I really like this song.
Shout out to Mortal Kombat.
like I really felt I like this record more and more the more I listen to it. It's just got a lot of like it's a fun record. It's fun.
Also, I would just like to say I do owe you an apology.
Yeah.
Because that song "Loose Garment," where
Yeah.
you said that it has that line, like I used to wear my sadness like a choker, but now it drapes over me like a loose garment. I'm paraphrasing here. That's not the exact thing. Luke said that to me, and I was like, that's corny. And then like I listened to it, and I was like, no, that's a good line.
Yeah, it's a
that's
really good
line.
lyric because I was
That's
like,
a good line.
I was listening to that and I was like, oh man, like that's a lyric at the end of this record.
Is
And,
that's the first track with Phoebe Bridgers, right?
No,
No.
that's Silk Chiffon.
Loose Garment is the second to last song.
I had my
fabrics
blouses mixed up.
That's what I also love about this record. There's two songs about fabrics. Like there's Loose Garment and then the
Silk Chiffon.
banger Silk Chiffon.
Luke's like, what the fuck is chiffon?
Who's Chiffon?
Chiffon.
I had to look it up. I thought it was like a neck scarf. It's a dress. I don't know. Who
Yeah.
would know? I didn't know. I'm
It's
Suns
like
Out, Guns
it's
Out
like a
over here.
polyester material.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, I was talking to him on the phone the other day, and I was like, yeah, the only people who know what chiffon is like the members of Muna and like everyone's meme. And Jade's like, I know what chiffon is, and I'm like, you're a meme.
Yeah.
She's like,
she's a meme in waiting.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to my wife. She's a lovely
She
lady.
is.
I
She's
don't
a
wanna
lovely
get- I
lady.
don't wanna get in
She's gonna be a
trouble.
lovely meme.
Yeah,
She
she's gonna
will
be a good meme. Yeah, I agree. I think this album played well initially up front. Like I was kind of like unsure about it, but the more I listened to it, similarly, like it kind of grew on me. I do. Just to highlight one other song, I like the song "No Idea." I thought that was cool. It has a catchy chorus, and they do like this cool like auto-tuned kind of play on the vocals, which I really enjoyed. So, you know,
Oh, No Idea. Yeah, I like that one as well.
yeah.
Very good. Solid.
Anything
Solid. I'd like to shout out
anything
one.
but me. I
I'd like to shout out one thing, which is after listening to both these records, there's an artist that she's still around making music, but so infrequently. And I think she's only like 30, 31, 32 years old. Her name's Sky Ferreira. She made a couple records, EPs, and an album in like 2012, 2013 that if you like either Soccer Mommy or Muna, the two new records, check out the album Nighttime, My Time by Sky Ferreira, because that is the perfect Venn diagram intersection of both of these records sound. Highly recommend, and I would be extremely surprised if neither of these artists were highly influenced by that.
Yeah.
It was like a critical darling, like top of everybody's list when that record came out, I think 2013. So check that out with both of these. Yeah, ratings. I'm going to go ahead. I'm not trying to do it on purpose, but I am also going to say strong 8 for this one. And it
Yeah.
might, just like Soccer Mommy, it might grow on me, and I might enjoy it even more as the summer
Yeah.
progresses, because I think this is a great summer record.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with Pitchfork. I'm gonna go 7-8. I know that's kind of like a weird.
Oh, we're going
That's kind of like a weird.
7-8.
But like a 7.5. You know what I mean? Like I love the Soccer Mommy record. This one, it's like just outside
Right.
of like maybe like my my taste, my whatever. But I'm like, I like it a lot, you know what I mean? And I'm really, really happy that I listened to it. I think it's a great record, and I'm excited to see maybe what the next Muna album has to offer too. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go from here.
7.5. I think it's really good. It's a very strong pop album. It's a great pop record. If you're into pop music, this is on. This should definitely be on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
radar.
yeah.
High on your radar.
Yeah.
Great pop release.
All right. Well, there you go. There you have it. Check both of those albums out. Let us know what you think in the comments below as well. How do you rate these records? And did you like them? Did you not like them? And why?
I'd also like to note, guys,
Yes.
that I've been Suns Out, Guns Out for all of our summer podcasts
Well,
Yeah.
guns have been out. Have you been out in the sun?
Well.
once.
Oh.
Went to the beach one time.
Yes, you did go to the beach.
Photographic evidence. I did see that.
Yes, that's true.
So I would invite everybody at home to Suns Out, Guns Out with me. I know I can't see you,
Yeah.
but this is the vibe of the summer. So
Yeah.
enjoy it. I'm doing this purposely for this podcast.
Yeah, for the summer. When's your cut? When are you going to end?
When I feel the
Labor Day,
vibe
maybe?
of summer has ended.
Oh, okay. So who knows? He could be Suns Out, Guns Out in October.
It could be all summer long. I could be Beach Boys in over here. You guys
You
don't
could
know.
be Kid Rocking it all
You
summer
can't
long.
you can't see it, but he's
Kid Rocket up and down the block with a bottle of scotch.
you can't see it, but he very much like Brian Wilson put his piano in a sandbox. His feet are actually in a sandbox
Oh,
right
I thought
now.
he was wearing flippers.
no. Well, it's actually kitty litter. It's not sand. But
I actually haven't left this house in 20 years.
he's only owned it for 4. That's the weird part.
Special announcement: next week's episode will be our 100th episode.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
tune
right.
in. We will have a special guest.
Yes.
And we will be discussing some special topics, some summer music topics.
Thanks, Jerry. Just remember also, again, like we always say to end off the podcast, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with all of your friends, and leave comments below. Let us know what you think. If there's anything in particular that you would like us to cover as well, we're always open to suggestions and all that stuff, or if you think we were wrong about anything too, make sure to let us know. So until next time,
Love, peace, hair grease.
love, peace, hair grease. Have a good week at school, everyone.
This has been a presentation from the Wasted Robot Network. For more information and links to other shows, please visit www.wastedrobotrecords.com/podcasts.